English is a tricky language. For every rule, there always seem to be exceptions. That's because English collected its words from many different sources over the course of history. Words from ancient Greek have a habit of creeping into scientific and technological terminology. British interests in India from the 18th century introduced words such as shampoo and jungle, but the majority of the English language comes from two main sources. Firstly, Germanic tongues following our island settlement by peoples from the east. Secondly, Norman French brought over by William and his conquering forces in 1066. French was also a language that had evolved from a conquering force, the Latin of the Roman Empire. It's fascinating to categorize English words depending on whether they come from Latin via Norman French or Anglo-Saxon. A lot of Anglo-Saxon root words are common, everyday words. Latinate words tend to be longer and more clever sounding. Being able to navigate around all kinds of words in the English language is important for good literacy. Basic, Tier 1 vocabulary makes up the bulk of the words that we use every day and is derived largely from Anglo-Saxon. Tier 2 words are used less but become increasingly important as children navigate their way through school. Many of these Tier 2 words have French-Latin roots. Tier 3 words are not seen all that often, but there are lots of them and they are often important in subject-specific contexts. Ancient Greek also exerts its influence here. Let's illustrate this with some written extracts. Here's part of an article from a UK tabloid newspaper, where the style is geared to ease of reading. Most of the words are Tier 1. If your vocabulary doesn't have many Tier 2 words in it, it's not that important. You can fill in the blanks. This extract from some GCSE geography notes relies heavily on Tier 2 and Tier 3 words. If you don't know what they mean, the text makes very little sense as a whole. Of course, exposure to vocabulary in context through extensive reading is a critical gateway to enriching Tier 2 and Tier 3 vocabulary. Explicit teaching of vocabulary and decoding techniques also has a role. This is where knowledge of Latin and Greek word roots can be very useful. Take a look at these Greek roots that appear in English words. Understanding their meaning can help us decode novel English words such as hypodermic and microlith. Classics for All can support your school to introduce a suitable program of work that aims to help your pupils improve their English vocabulary through exposure to Latin and ancient Greek. We provide access to a variety of resources, as well as fully funded teacher training. We're currently open to all UK state schools for inquiries and funding applications. Get in touch via our website